down that mace tree too often unless it's for the Brawler's Beat Stick or occasionally a Titan's Bane. So Jotun's Wrath really not as easy to build in as it used to be in Season 7. So I think auto attack certainly going to be the way to find penetration as Dardes shows he's turning it on her and already inbound getting turned on.
And that's huge, turns it into first blood for the Oni Warriors, and they might get second blood too, but Waxing Moon, so versatile. Baronic does a good job finding the turnaround there, but even better for Dardes. What looked like certain death with that wall into freeze.
Coming into it for them, but already Neil Ma trying to keep that pressure up on top of that duo lane. Zapman maintaining his passive throughout the years, cannot escape just being outnumbered inside of the long lane as Baronic caught out.
Let's see if the dance will be enough to get him out of here. Dardes turns the on her again, and Vote is the one that gets the kill credit. Now it's inbound, the next one in trouble, and still value coming from this on her, so that is a big two-man freeze. Defender of Olympus connects, and Charge of Ice, I think, signifies an acceptance of death from inbound. Do some damage on the way out, but that will not change the fact that that turned into a 2-for-0 myth. Dardes is all in on these on-her transformations in the early game to turn Morrigan into an aggressor. Were you expecting this? As Solar Troll has a chance for a solo kill. Nika gonna use that ultimate to try and reposition, but nothing there as SOT finds the first kill for Scarabs.
Phenomenal play from SOT to find that pick, and knowing that the entirety of...
Or rather the other way around. Fire Giant goes to the Warriors, and Scarabs take the Gold Fury one. But that means now the Gold Fury itself is a big objective here on the map. But the way the Warriors are playing this, I'd not be surprised if they try and force something over there. As Dardes has found layers in the jungle, but is forced to retreat. The Typhoon too strong, but he turned into the on-her and stands tall in it, though inbound comes in to collect the kill. That the groundwork was laid by layers. So in comes Neoma trying to sort things out for his team, but Cuvo Fred still has Blink over the wall and can look for Baronic, and Nika gets here a little sooner than the opposition. That means he can set up for Cuvo Fred to put down Baronic to 2-for-1 in favor, this time, of the Warriors.
Nice rotation from Nika, changes that fight. If he doesn't show up, I think the Scarabs come away pretty cleanly there. Could even potentially keep the fight up themselves. Inbound in a little bit of trouble, throws out the freeze, doesn't connect. Neilma thinks better of it and retreats back. Catches Zapman in the jungle here, Vote on the chase.
And Zapman rotating over to mid early, but the wall from inbound should set up an opportunity, though Neilma does retreat and uses the blink to escape back to safety. Looks like an early Magi is coming from him as Vote has his beads forced out into trouble. Zapman does find a good when Vote's channeling the ultimate. Neilma escapes. Looks like red buff does get secured by the Oni Warriors, and that means Layers and the Scarabs will try and move over towards purple instead. So Dardes cloaked in shadow, but inbound is here to look for a freeze. He finds it, and Dardes now caught out, makes life way harder, but inbound gets left behind. Layers abandons ship, and inbound gets killed.
Yeah, inbound throws out 2 auto attacks, like surely Dardes is going to die here. If I get a third one, I'll do it all on my own. Layers, though, does not catch the miss. It makes sense to me into the Solar Scarabs draft. He knows that he's been playing aggressive. He's been kind of acting as a solo agent, so he doesn't want to get frozen out. As Dardes does get caught out, transforms to the on her, and jumps away.
Man, this has been his go-to transformation, but locked off by the wall from inbound. A great one, so Dardes has to try and turn and burn, but it's not there. Inbound showing up on the Amir so far. I think he's actually played pretty well. It just hasn't quite worked out for him in the KDA line, but he's looked good.
Yeah, 2 and 3, nothing to sneeze at this point.
Work from inbound.
Could even lose his life. Nice wall, forces the blink. Athena forced to use that relic defensively, and now the Solar Scarabs establish a defensive positioning around the Gold Fury. Oni Warriors immediately turned on. Now they got to work their way forward.
Still not very many ultimates in the 3v3 for the Warriors. Typhoon big, but Neilma's still alive. Zapman, the original Desert Fury, gets very little value there, and they've dropped the DPS on the Fury entirely. But it's a full 5-on-5, 10 members here at the Fury, 13.5 minutes in, so Nika says, fine, I will step on the gas pedal and move in. Beads allows him to keep up the aggression, and inbound will fall for Nika's trouble. The first kill of this engagement goes to the Warriors.
Man, that ultimate from Zapman effectively just kneecaps the Scarabs' opportunity there. They can't keep moving forward. They can't even go for the Gold Free available. Should be able to do at least 50% of their HP bar on his own, and with any help, the rest of it as well. Zapman so far forward.
And he didn't have beads, or he just got them back, so he uses them in that exchange. He must have just gotten them back, but they are gone now for the trouble of looking for a purple buff invade. But Vote Slow makes it out with that airstrike, retreats back to the safety of his tier 2 tower. Meanwhile, Dardes is in an awful position and locked down. Used the relics, turns into the Wukong, and that's all of his cooldowns expended in a losing effort as he's claimed by the Scarabs. What a bounce back from the Chaos side team.
But this is where the Scarabs have been winning their fights consistently this entire match. It's been purple and red buff invade after invade.
This Phantom is something that we might get to see some value from. Certainly something Hindu Man is excited to see here, but also speaks to the impact Inbound's having, or at least the impact that Amir has on these games, as Neomall gets caught out by Inbound exactly like that. But this time there's a turnaround. Inbound too alone, too much a solo agent. He pays the price for stepping up.
I think Inbound could have got a little bit further away there. He had so much movement speed that he could have potentially escaped, but turns around to find the Sunder, and he also...
And for a while there, Doom Orb was something we saw in her for so often. We gave her the movement speed. Looks like that's not the case anymore, though, as the Fire Giant now started up, and it's being burned quickly. The crit build from Vote is hurting it alongside Cuba Fred. In fact, the Scarabs don't get here even near in time. The Warriors take it. Looks like Typhoon was close, but it was not enough as Inbound. Life taken away by Cubo Fred. Veronic, the next one up in Vote, puts him down. See it to layers, and just like that, Fire plus a 3 for 0. Apparently waiting made it super clean.
Yeah, look, they were waiting for their opportunity, right? And they found it the second they did. Look, if a team...
Seems like, but from the Scarabs, though, how do you like this next fight? Both teams have finished off some key starter item upgrades. Pendulums, Compassions, Embraces, all finished here at this point. Bumba's out there as well. But there's the re-engage, catching Scarabs off guard. It was so quick and so complete. Inbound is the target. There's the Piercing Moonlight as in comes Nika to finish the job, but Layers somehow falls elsewhere. Dardes makes his way into the back line, and he pulls the trigger yet again on another Tsukuyomi ultimate to close the gap. They've already lost Inbound. They've already lost their jungler.
Dardes.
And Zatman and Veronic shall be next. Nika gets himself a triple kill as he takes care of 3, and this game is done and dusted. Big one for the Warriors.
The Scarabs, man, it felt like they might have been able to spring a trap there. They had so much vision advantage, so the second the Oni Warriors start to back up, the Scarabs just assume that they had started up the Fire Giant itself. Unfortunately, that's not what they were looking for. They were going for your necks, and they absolutely take it. Finch, these Oni Warriors, man, they're starting to get better and better every week. It feels like they found the
bust as soon as he can.
Yeah, Layers power farming at the end of the jungle. Neomall getting aggressed on, still not level 5, forced to jump out and use the blink. Tough situation. Shards of Ice is the trade there. Ymir finding value.
And Cubo Fred in danger of falling here for first blood. The cudgel and the slows and the pin all land. Just not enough damage. Cubo Fred, as always, walking the tightrope and remaining elusive. Now Inbound, though, on that trade with Neomall, did blink in. I think this
focused on invading side camps. Be it game 1, it was the purple buff and the red buff. Game 2, seems like he's really keeping his eyes over towards Solo as Dardes transforms into the on her. He loves it.
But it was miscommunication between him and Neo. They came off the target, and now Dardes in an awful position. SOT gets first blood. Neomall might be behind, but in comes the backup as Layers finds the second kill of this game. But Cubo Fred does get Layers. Inbound goes down as well to make it 2 for 2, and Nika remains hungry. A double kill as he finds Veronic to make it 3 for 2 in the very first engagement. And now Zapman is here, the ADC, rotating across the map entirely, getting involved. But they might have lost the numbers advantage. It's a triple kill for Nika, who made his impact known.
Look, Nika's nuts, alright? This guy rotates over and turns a lost fight into a deicide for his team. That Dardes overzealous with it.
There's the jump from Neomall. He eventually concedes he must use it. But I'm with you. It's still a little bit hard for me to shake my initial reaction, which is that the Warriors fumbled the bag there, Neil and Dardes, but such a recovery from Nika. Layers there does not find. The 9 turns blessing, and Cubo Fred in trouble, but the shield gets him out, dashes away, and Dardes stuck in the thick of it, and Shards of Ice brings him low. The game 1 Dardes we saw, not the game 2 Dardes we're getting, as Veronic has a chance to find Neomall with the Taiko drums, patiently does it, and sets up for Layers to get a double kill. What a response from the Scarabs. And listen, I like it. They're going to take any fight they can where Nika is not there.
Yeah, the Warriors should know better. Nika wasn't there, Finch. That's the operative word. Don't fight without that man. That's what happens when you try to fall for free. Dardes and Neomall. Dardes certainly been under a lot of aggression this game. It's been constant attempts at ganking him, and it's generally worked out. The Morgan 0-2 now, but even that... Yeah, well, not the best
Whoa.
look on the planet for the rookie coming in, dying to the Mana Core there. But as I was saying, Finch, at the end of the day, they got the Gold Fury. But here in Game 2, it's Solar Scarabs getting aggressive, and then the Warriors doing the exact same thing. It feels like two boxers standing in the center of the ring and just trading punches.
Oh, we've got a big fight. I can't even celebrate what might have been the Manticore's first kill as Layers locks down Neil, and a great freeze from Inbound, who's looked like a different man on the Amir. But Darius, not to be outdone, does take care of the Chaos side jungler. Baronic fleeing with that Thunder Crash away, but Inbound and Zapman still want to go. That's because SOT is here, but guys, you know what that means. So is Nika, and here he comes, using the piercing moonlight to get involved in the fight all alone, locks down Inbound, and of course, gets his 4th kill of the game, and they are not done. Cubo Fred gets Baronic, and how could they not have understood that if their solo laner is here, well then so is Nika.
Finch, I was being glib. I didn't think Nika was going to show up and legitimately just wipe the enemy team again, but he does it again! Sets up for the Greater Scorpion.
Really good game for him, and there has been truly some trouble for the Warriors when they fought elsewhere on the map and when they've struggled in those other battles. This is, unfortunately, the Manticore's very first kill of the SPL Season 8. Yeah, unlucky for the young man, but didn't quite go his way. Listen, Baronic is going to have way more highs than lows, okay? Maybe have a little bit of a laugh here, but don't you worry. My man's going to bounce back and have some big moments. You'll forget all about that.
Yeah, here's the thing about how Red Buff is really strong, and it gets a little buff after you've tanked it up for a little longer. And yeah, Layers and SOT on the right-hand side of the map, they get to hear that notification, the bell of the Gold Fury falling, and unfortunate can only be the things that they say. That's a free one for the Oni Warriors now, and Boat getting aggressive, natural-born killer. You gotta believe he's got backup Cubo in there, but it's Nika that picks up the kill, and how could it be anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, even Nika didn't do that much work on that kill, but I think that at this point they're magnetized to him, drawn to him. As Pyromancer looks to be the trade for the Scarabs, we're at Tier 2 in left. Let's see if they can do it. I think their minion wave is starting to fall off, but with 3 essentially auto-attack-focused characters, they can. Meanwhile, Neil, insisting on defending the Pyromancer alone, now caught inside the Tycho drums.
Phoenix?
This could have been... They are going to go for the Phoenix, and Neil has them distracted. Perhaps that is why he threw his life away, was to guarantee a 14-minute Phoenix. You won't see a whole lot happening sooner than that. And so, the Scarabs go to the Fire Giant and Trish.
Well, Dardes seems to have spotted out that no one's backed. Hey, Dardes, they're not defending the Phoenix. We got to get over here to the Fire Giant. He can turn into Nika. Finch, bring him back. Get him over there. But
wait, no, the Fire Giant is waxing them all on its own. They forced
yeah, it's too strong.
Yeah, a little too strong this early in the game. Layers will get his back off, but Dardes, recognizing where they are, stops them in the middle, gets the kill on the Baronic, and makes it a double by putting down Layers. This is backbreaking. This is the Dark Knight Rises Bane, raising you and bringing you over the knee. This is painful.
Was there ever any hope? But there certainly is true despair. Nika finally gonna fall down. 5-1-4 is the solo laner for the Oni Warriors. Inbound doing his best Nika impression for the last 3 seconds. Also gonna go down as well. 0-3-6 for the support on the side of the Scarabs. And you know who still draws breath throughout all of it? It's not that left side. The only thing they could have done is literally go for the end there. And I think they may have had the opportunity, the Solar Scarabs. How are you going to predict that they're going to lose the fight to the Fire Giant itself? I think the Warriors make the right strategic decision, but had they had the aerial view like we do, maybe the end of the game.
Yeah, that's maybe the only way they could have done. Now Layers in trouble. Nika once again is going to be the one causing problems and deletes Baronic. Target switching, and it absolutely works. The Raijin having a really tough game this time around. Meanwhile, Dardes just walking up on Inbound, finding the stun, even getting the slows, and he should be falling, and he shall right to the hands of Boat. This game rapidly getting out of control for the Scarabs.
Yeah, it feels like the Scarabs tried to stem the bleeding and just stuck another blade in the wound, didn't they? Inbound now dead for 20 seconds. It's back. Nika was about to leave him alone. Now his life is forfeit.
Yeah, and he's really low on mana. He has enough for jump or ult. I doubt for both. Let's see. The pillar comes out, so maybe he does have more than I thought. So leaps in. Nika gonna have to win the battle. As that man knows his only option is to take it. But that's both relics and a losing effort. I don't think there's any shot to use the relics there, but unlucky Zapman gets nothing.
Unlucky, yeah, we'll call it unlucky this time around. Zapman trying to take away a Tier 1 tower, at least push up those fire minion waves, loses his life. I feel like I've been harping on him too much, but Layers has been largely absent. I was going to say that 9 turns Blessing is going to be a good tool to at least strip away some beads, but we haven't seen him aggress with it. Zapman isn't even going to leave it up to the defense. Gets caught out yet again. Nika going to get round 2, second first, same as the first. Free kill.
Yeah, that was easily done since they knew Zapman had no relics. Both were expended in that last dual lane engagement where 4 dudes rotated over and cleaned him up easily. Dardas sneaking into mid, wanted Barana FG plus a 6k gold lead. Gonna be tough for the Scarabs to defend here.
That's the second time the left side Phoenix goes down with not a single Scarab in range to defend it now. 4 versus 5. They are grouped up. Neomon blinks forward, misses the ultimate, but does zone off layers. Distracting Neomon is pretty good.
Yeah, you want to try and keep him out of this fight if you can, but SOT left a bit alone. Listen, SOT hasn't had a whole lot to say in this game. His solo laner is barely in his lane. He kept getting involved in the map. And so that is the mid Phoenix down. I was going to say I hadn't brought his name up much, but I think that's just because there's been literally 0 solo lane action this game, right? All the action has happened elsewhere.
Yeah, Nika said, all right, look, clearly we're not going to win this wet noodle fight, either one of us, so I'm going to bring it elsewhere. Layers stepping a little too far forward. Layers stepping into the trap. Dardas picks up that kill. Erlang Shen dead for 40 seconds, and the only warrior still with a minute and a half on Fire Giant can strip away this tier 2 tower pretty easily. And just to show how quick the
regular ones over in right. There's fire minions in mid and in left as the warriors seem ready to put this game to bed if they can, if the Scarabs cannot find some kind of way to defend. But there's so many Magai's Clubs, so many options available as Neomos the first one in, and Layers is the early target. Layers is deleted, half HP removed in an instant. An inbound not far behind as Vote gets himself a double. Cubo Fred getting involved as Vote finds a triple kill, and this game's done. SOT can't defend alone, and the Warriors gonna find all their kills before they end this game. They want to assert complete dominance and let minions in this one.
No way, they all chase. All right, Nika, who's been doing it all for his team up until this point, is at least going to save the dignity of SOT. Does kill the Titan. Nika, ever a good sport here. Only